Welcome to CCN TV News, your premier source for local and international news. From the streets of Kingston to the capitals of the world, we are ready to cover you stories that shape our world. Stay tuned for breaking news.
A man in Chicago answers the door to agents from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE, and is promptly arrested. The Trump administration says this crackdown is targeting serious criminals, but has warned no migrant without papers is safe.
You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem.
Chicago's Little Village neighborhood, known as the Mexico of the Midwest, is a community under fire.
ICE immigration, the fears that come with that, the depression that comes with that.
There are an estimated 11 million undocumented migrants in the U.S. Many have lived and worked here for decades.
This whole past week has just been scary and overwhelming. Just going to my house, straight to work, to my house, straight to work. I'm driving and have to look over my shoulder.
The administration's plans briefly hit a roadblock after Colombia turned back 2 U.S. military planes carrying deportees. Donald Trump threatened a 25% tariff on Colombian goods. The Colombian president responded with a threat of counter-sanctions, saying the United States cannot treat Colombian migrants like criminals. But in an apparent about-face, the White House announced Colombia had agreed to accept the illegal aliens. The administration says tariffs and sanctions will be enforced if they don't follow through. In Chicago, they're fighting back, informing migrants about their rights if ICE officers show up.
Remain calm. In this country, you have the right to remain silent. You can ask for a lawyer and get that kind of help. You can do it in any language.
Chicago is a sanctuary city, one of a large group of democratic-led sanctuary cities and states. And what that means is that they limit cooperation with immigration enforcement operations.
But with Donald Trump determined to push through his agenda, no one here is taking anything for granted. Barbara Miller, ABC News, Chicago.
The recent surge in immigration enforcement efforts by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE has sparked a wave of concern and controversy across the nation. As ICE agents move in to apprehend and deport individuals who are in the country without proper documentation, many undocumented immigrants are being forced to move out of their homes, communities, and livelihoods. The facts behind the enforcement efforts. According to ICE, the agency's primary goal is to identify and remove individuals who pose a threat to national security, public safety, and border security. This includes those who have been convicted of crimes, those who are suspected of terrorism or otherwise deemed to be a priority for removal. However, critics argue that the enforcement efforts are often overly broad and target individuals who are simply trying to make a better life for themselves and their families. Let's look at the human impact of enforcement. The effects of ICE enforcement efforts are being felt across the country as families are torn apart and communities are left to pick up the pieces. Many undocumented immigrants have lived in the United States for many years, working, paying taxes, and contributing to their communities. They have built lives, started families, and become integral members of society. However, with the threat of deportation looming, many are being forced to abandon their homes, leave their jobs, and flee to avoid detection. Let's look at the economic consequences. The economic consequences of ICE enforcement efforts are also significant, as undocumented immigrants are moved from the workforce. Businesses are left to struggle with the loss of skilled and experienced workers. This can lead to decreased productivity, reduced economic growth, and a negative impact on local economies. Furthermore, the cost of enforcing immigration laws and deporting individuals is substantial, with estimates suggesting that it can cost upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 per person. As the debate continues over immigration enforcement, it is essential to recognize the complexities of the issue and the need for a comprehensive and nuanced approach. Rather than simply relying on effective enforcement, policymakers must work to create a fair and effective immigration system that provides a pathway to citizenship for those who are eligible, while also addressing the root causes of immigration and promoting economic development in countries of origin. In conclusion, the issue of immigration enforcement is a complex and multifaceted one, with far-reaching consequences for individuals, communities, and the economy as a whole. As ICE moves in to apprehend and deport undocumented immigrants, it is essential to remember the human impact of these efforts and to work towards a more comprehensive and compassionate approach to immigration policy. By providing a pathway to citizenship, addressing the root causes of migration, and promoting economic development, we can create a more just and equitable society for all. Thank you for watching this video. If this kind of video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.